All right, well, Bart with Bicycle Rider YouTube, and I've got something here that's exciting to me. One, because I just got done riding this thing, and it's flipping fast. I built this up for a customer. This is the Trek Madone Gen7 SLR 7. And one of my good friends, a guy I've been riding with for a long time, wanted to go a little bit faster, but also wanted to be a bit comfortable. I'm 54 years old. He's a little bit younger than me, but you know, when you get you get my age, you still want to be fast, but you also want a little bit of comfort built into your ride. I just rode this Madone for the first time over the last couple hours. I'm in Biloxi, Mississippi, and we got a big storm coming through. So, you know, my last 30 minutes I've been riding in the rain. This thing rides absolutely phenomenal, and it feels so sure-footed. I want one of these. I want a Gen 7 Madone, and I'll probably get. I'm in Biloxi Bicycle Works. I am a Trek dealer. I'm an IBD. I'm not a factory-owned store, so I do get to sell multiple different brands of bikes. I just switched from Specialized to Trek, so I'm not saying anything bad about Specialized bikes, but I'll tell you what, the more I ride Trek, the better I like it. And that ride I just had on this bike, we're in February of, we just started March 2024. So the time's getting ready to change on March 9th around here in Biloxi, Mississippi. That's when we start doing our Tuesday, Thursday evening road rides because we have a little bit more daylight. And believe me, it's fast and spunky out here. Let me tell you about my bike I'm retiring. So I talked about Specialized. The SL7 was an awesome bike. I thought that was one of the fastest road bikes that I've ridden to date. And I ended up turning down that bike for a Specialized Athos. So I still have my Specialized Athos. I just put it in the showroom for sale. So anybody wants an awesome Specialized Athos, it's a great bike. It's probably one of the best rounded road bikes I've ever been on my life. It's light, it's a little over 14 pounds. It's responsive, it's comfortable, it's fast. It's just not aerodynamically what this is. And that seems to be the trend around here. People think we don't have climbing here in South Mississippi. Now, we don't have any sustained climbs and descents, but we have a lot of rolling. I like rolling. I'm from Colorado, so believe me, I know what climbing's all about. I prefer this rolling in our 30 or 40 mile destroyer route. We get, you know, almost 2,000 feet of elevation. And there's a lot of spunky little climbs. An aero road bike really does trump weight on those kind of conditions. I thought I wanted a climbing bike because I have it as a smaller rider. I'm a climber, so I that's when I kind of accelerate is on the climbs. And that Athos definitely did a good job of that, but I can feel an aerodynamic disadvantage when we get to higher speeds, 27, 28, 29, 30 plus miles an hour. Most of the time at that point in the ride, I'm not leading anyway. I'm usually on someone's wheel, just tucking in, trying to hold on. And when we're starting to get more and more aero road bikes into our mix, and I'm having to, you know, I want to be on that trend, but I also want something comfortable. And that's one of the reasons at 54 years old, I bought the Athos, because I can ride that bike at a long distance, still go fast, and still be comfortable. I've ridden a couple of the newer aero road bikes. I rode the Canyon Aero Road. Boy, I thought that bike was fast, but I didn't really feel that bike being that comfortable, at least for me. And it was a friend of mine's bike, so it wasn't completely set up for me. It was the right size, but I just felt harsh to me. When I just rode the completely stock Madone SLR 7, Gen 7, that my friend is buying tomorrow. He's picking up this bike tomorrow. It felt completely different than the bike I was just comparing it to. This bike was super fast. Like, I can't believe how fast this bike felt. It felt very, like nothing was touching the wind up here. When you look at this bike, it's very, I don't know, it's very slim up here. This bladed fork, the front end of this bike, the beak is really just cuts the wind really good, but it's stiff up in there. Like when I was just cranking like I'm going down into a sprint or something, I didn't feel any flex, and I love this one-piece bar. It just felt perfect to me. So Don, I think you're really gonna like this bike. The way that the cockpit felt was at home, and like I said, this is the first time I'm riding this bike. I have ridden the new Madone. I rode the Gen 6, and I've only had limited time on the Gen 7. I wanted to see what this, what this was all about, the ISO flow. I'm a believer. It felt faster to me. It wanted to sustain speed. And I just rode on the back bay of Biloxi. Back bay of Biloxi is definitely known for crosswinds. I was riding into a pretty big crosswind as this front is coming through, and the bike felt stable, but it felt like it kept picking up speed. I've seen the aerodynamic, visualization of how they've got the wind coming across this bike and coming through this ISO flow and flowing out. So maybe it's a placebo effect, but I guarantee you, when I just got off this bike, I had to change my clothes because I was soaking wet. But I felt the bike continue to pick up speed, and I felt like the air was just passing right through me. It was an awesome sensation. So Trek engineers, people that are non-believers, get on this bike and push the pedals. And you maybe feel what I'm feeling. I'm excited right now because the technology worked. This bike was super fast. It was faster than that Canyon Aero bike I rode. And I'm a fan of, I shouldn't say I'm a fan of Canyon bikes. I'm a bike mechanic, and I have a lot of my friends that bought Canyon. I don't want to say anything bad about Canyon, the brand, but as a bike mechanic and someone that can't get some of the proprietary parts for it because they don't support bike shops, and Biloxi's a long way from California. My customers have a hard time getting that support. And probably that could be, improving. I don't know a whole lot about Canyon's customer service other than what I've had to try to pick up the phone myself and say, hey, Canyon, I'm a bike shop and I'm trying to fix my friend's bike, and they pretty much just want to hang up on me because they deal directly with the consumer. And that's where Trek, they have a good price point. So I think that Aero Speed was $5,500 or $5,000, and it had carbon fiber wheels, carbon fiber bars, carbon fiber frame that was Aero, and the new Shimano Di2 105 12-speed. Pretty good price, but when you can't get, great customer service and you don't live in California next to the factory store, I have a lot of Canyon customers that are having to drop their bikes off here and pretty much pay us to work on them because I can't file a warranty claim. Or they pay us and I'm not sure, they take the receipt and turn it into Canyon. I don't know how that all works. I just know I haven't been super happy working on a Canyon. I am a Trek dealer, but there's Trek dealers everywhere, and Trek supports their products. If I have a problem with a Trek, that's one of the reasons I like dealing with Trek. And I'm not saying anything bad about Specialized. Specialized bikes were great, but as someone who owns a bike shop, trying to deal with Specialized right now is a little bit tougher. So all my friends at Specialized, I'm not saying anything bad about you. I'm just saying Trek has treated me really good. If I have a problem with a Trek product, I have someone that picks up the phone right away, and I get a package to my shop very quickly. And the warranty process has been simple for me as a bike shop owner and a bike shop mechanic. So, and we're not finding a lot of problems in the first place, but things happen. Now, I have a friend that just wrecked a brand new Trek bike. It's not covered under warranty. All they'll do a crash replacement, but the customer just wants to replace a couple parts. Trek's getting me those parts very quick for that customer. We're going to have that customer back on his bike for a big riding weekend coming up. So, as I'm talking about our riding season, I want one of these myself. My Specialized Athos was in the 14-pound range, super light. This bike, I believe, is about 17 pounds, which is light for an aero bike. I have a Specialized Shiv. That's what I ride on my time trials or when I'm doing a triathlon. This bike felt as fast as my Shiv, but way, way more comfortable. There's a time trial series coming up and a local duathlon series that I'm going to do. I hope my Madone's in at the time. I'm not going to ride my aero bike. I'm going to ride my aero road bike, my Madone. And I'm looking forward to the group rides this year on it. So Don, thank you for letting me test this bike. And guys, I'm not going to go into every spec of this bike because there's a lot of good YouTube reviewers that are doing that. You can also look at the Trek website and they can tell you every spec of this bike. I'm kind of more of a, since you can get that information other places, I'm more about how this bike makes me feel as a bike shop owner and as a bike mechanic, how it is building this bike. Let me just touch on a couple things. Of course, Trek is using their highest end carbon on the SLR models. This is the SLR 800 series OCLV carbon. Some of the best carbon in the business. I got excited talking about ISOFlow. It works. I just felt it. That excitement is still in my brain. Cockpit is really good. Now it's got the Alios 51 millimeter deep dish wheels. And I say deep dish, it's not a 60. And I see people put these really, really big deep dish wheels on their road bikes. You got to remember this is still a road bike. It doesn't handle as good. The crosswinds will get you. I think this is the perfect spec wheel for this bike. It's an aero road bike, not a complete aero bike. You need a full dish on the back of this. That's what an aero bike's for, a tri bike, a time trial bike. Like I just said, I'm going to probably do the local time trials on this bike, but it just felt as fast as my shit, but way more comfortable. I did feel some compliance. Here in Biloxi, we don't have perfect roads. So rather than the ISO dampener that they had in the past, they've simplified it and they've kind of have this cantilever effect. I didn't feel any negative effects when I was throwing power down, but I definitely felt less vibration coming up from the road, which definitely helps out in those longer rides. So the front end felt very compliant. It comes with 25 millimeter tires on it, and you can put much larger on it. But everything felt great on this bike. Of course, you can't go wrong with the Ultegra. I believe it's the 70. It's the new Ultegra series, the 7800, 7100. I'll post that up. It's been a long day in the bike shop, so my brain is not firing on specific numbers. My brain is firing on the way this bike just made that adrenaline pump through my veins. I felt the speed, I felt the smoothness, and I felt what the engineers were setting out to do. They wanted to make a very fast road bike. Now, I rode in a situation back here on the back bay where I was able to lean into some corners. So I've got an old Allay Sprint that I use for a crit racing. I love the way that bike feels into a corner. This bike felt just as good, just as well handling as that Allay Sprint. And I've spent years on that bike rolling it into a corner. This bike gave me that confidence to do that right away. I can't wait till I get my hands on my personal Trek Madone. I might not get the SLR. I might get the SL version. I own a bike shop. I don't make as much money as I used to, and things are pretty tight right now. But I can get into an SL version of this bike with a Shimano Di2 for, I think retail on that's like $5,500. That is well worth it, especially when you own a bike shop and you see what people spend on bikes. I love when people spend money on bikes because I see the happiness and the lifestyle it gives them. People spend a lot of money on their carbon wheels and we do a lot of custom bikes out of here. And it's awesome. I think it's money well spent, but for $5,500, I can get into the same frame. Actually, it's a different carbon layout, but same geometry, same ISO speed. I'm still gonna get carbon wheels. I'm not gonna get this one-piece bar for that money. So if you get the extra scratch to come where a little bit higher end, and this was in the Project One package. So I'm a fan of Viper Red. I think this looks good, but you can get multiple colors. And with Don, I was able to custom put seats on, his handlebar width, his crank length. There's just a lot of little custom touches. Don opted for the ceramic speed bottom bracket. Huh, that's awesome. But Project One is great. You're not having to buy things and then take those things off your bike and try to sell them on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or something. You're just paying for what you need. And when you're looking at customizing bar widths and you're looking at customizing, different components on your bike, and it's nice when you don't have to buy a brand new bike, take those components, put them in a box, and go sell them somewhere. You're just getting what you want. So Project One is awesome. For me, I love being able to sell a Project One because those customers in the long run are saving money and getting exactly what they want without a bunch of extra spare parts laying around. I really like the seat mast too. I did notice with this seat mast, I can fine tune the ride. You know, it's a different type of seat mast than a regular 27.2 seat post that you raise up and down. So it is proprietary to this bike, but why not? I mean, this aero post is perfect. I can't say enough good about how fast and how well this bike rode. And that's why I picked the Athos a couple years ago, because I wanted a good riding road bike that was also fast. But I'm realizing that this is faster. This handled just as good. And really, I felt very compliant. Like the road noise was not coming up into my body. But yet, every time I wanted to put power down, that power was going exactly where I wanted it and pushing me forward. The aerodynamics of this frame was absolutely astonishing. I can't wait to spend more time on it. But for my opinion of this bike is absolutely awesome. Believe the hype. It works. It's fast, it's light for an aero road bike, and it's giving you everything in one package. So, awesome bike. Of course, you can't go wrong with a new Ultegra Di2 12-speed stuff. It's just solid. For bike mechanics, it's easy to set up. If you have a problem out there on a group ride or something, I can easily configure things and make this bike shift wonderfully under almost any circumstance. So that servo moves the same every time. It's a lot better than just a cable that's having to deal with friction and flow through, cable housing. So it's nice. Electronics it even trims the front end for you. So for someone that has to teach people how to ride bikes and how to shift, this is so nice because people can just ride their bikes and not have to worry about every little how to not cross chain. So Trek Madone Gen 7 is absolutely awesome. I was able to ride the SLR. I'm probably going to buy an SL myself just because of price point, and I don't feel like I'm going to give up a whole lot. And I'm looking forward to this year's, road bike season. If you like what we do on the Bicycle Rider YouTube, please like and subscribe. Our videos are really raw. I mean, it's me talking about the feel of this bike. I wasn't even planning on doing a video, so if so, I probably would have combed my hair or something. But just hit like and subscribe. Let YouTube know that you're watching us, and that helps me be able to justify my time rather than going home and getting something to eat. I'd make a quick little video and put it out there for you guys. If you're in the Biloxi area or you're visiting, bring your road bike. Come by Biloxi Bicycle Works. There's a lot of road riding action happening. I'd love to come ride bikes with you. I'd like you to come ride bikes with us. If you have a local Trek dealer, please support your local Trek dealer. They need you now. Whether it be a factory store or an IBD like I have, independent bike dealer, definitely go support your local Trek dealer. And I mean, that's one thing that Canyon's not doing. All those guys buying bikes off Canyon aren't supporting the local bike shop. Who's hosting a lot of these rides? Who's spending all their personal time out there on the, doing stuff is the local bike shop. I do it because I love it, but it's hard when you throw on a bunch of rides and then people go buy stuff off the internet and it's like, well, geez, thanks guys. But anyway, enough about that. That's a whole other video. This is about the Trek Madone, and definitely support your local bike shop. If you don't have a local bike shop and you're around the Mississippi Gulf Coast, or you just want to have some questions answered, call Biloxi Bicycle Works in Biloxi, Mississippi. There's my card right there. Bart Luther's my name. I'm AKA the Bicycle Rider on YouTube. I'm very approachable. I'm a real guy. I ride these bikes. I'm 54 years old, and I try to, spend as much time on a bike as I can because I really love it. I just built up a new Trek gravel bike, so I finished the Mississippi Gravel Cup. I finished third place in the Masters group overall, and I sold my Specialized Diverge. So more coming on the ALR4. I built up a budget gravel bike that seems to be performing really, really awesome. So we also do, mountain biking too, mountain biking, gravel. We do it. We just love bikes here at Biloxi Bicycle Works. We love our customers, and I love helping people, find this lifestyle. So really awesome opinion. of the Trek Madone SLR. My friend Don is getting an awesome bike, and I'm so glad. He was a hardworking man. He works at a school. He's not rich, and he's going to get a lot of enjoyment out of this bike. So Don, awesome choice. This bike ride's great. Thanks for letting me take a test ride on it. I can't wait to put this in your hands tomorrow. And then I'm looking forward to you being out on the group ride and seeing how this raises your level. Because I watched you ride the other day, man. Your fitness is good. Now I think it's all about the bike. So this one's going to be awesome for you. All you out there in YouTube land, I appreciate your support. If you have any questions about Biloxi Bicycle Works, I'm constantly posting stuff up on like Facebook and Instagram. So check us out. We're a real bike shop. We're always riding bikes, all kinds of bikes. And we love you guys. So we appreciate your support here. And just know this Trek Madone is absolutely awesome. Thank you.